I also want to talk about another thing that kind of creeped up this week when um, people were DMing me and asking questions, which I'm okay. You have the authority and the right to ask questions. I'll choose which ones I want to answer. But okay, so the other thing that came up was it's another level to a why, and this is it's a why on their side. It's not a why for me. I know what I'm doing and why I'm doing it, but it was more like if you if you expose too much, you could be careful what you say because it could ruin your reputation. It could affect business. It could like all couldas, right? And I'm going to get into this a little later because I have a whole series of things I want to address to unhinge us from certain constructs that are created in our society, in the universe, in our environment, in our culture, in our relationships, you know. And okay, try not to get too deep, but anyway, it is what it is. We'll go as far as I feel like it. But anytime you start to create and make decisions that benefit you, that take you out of where you currently are into the next level of your future. And that could be your vision, your opportunities, whatever God has put on your heart to do, like all of that. Whenever you start declaring to be better and to make decisions that will improve you or get you closer to you. And notice that the operable word in this is you. You get better. You heal. You live better. You work better. Your mental health, your physical health. You're making decisions for you. It's amazing how so many opposites of what you're making a decision about pop up. My grandmother used to tell me, like, the minute you declare yourself to be sanctified, the devil shows up. And it's just true. So it's amazing to me that, and this is over time, I've realized this. Actually, it's when you start to get into the process of healing, of tuning your ear to discern, understanding who God is in you. Because he made me, so he talks to me here. And he's like, nah, child, don't listen to that. That if you start training your ear to hear him well, then that's where that discernment starts to improve. But a lot of times when we're in the thick of it, in the thick of thin things, you're in the thick of it. You can't hear it. And there's a part of you that when you decide to step out on your faith, to have the audacity to do something against what might be the norm, there's a piece of you that, a little piece, or sometimes it's a big piece, that will always try to listen out for the reason why you shouldn't do it. And maybe that don't make sense to you right now, but it will over time. If you stick with me, it'll make sense over time. So there's so many examples that I can talk about in my life. And because I'm in this season of unhinging from any construct that is meant to keep me being normal, to keep me at status quo, to keep me quiet, to keep me behind the curtain, to keep me from claiming what is mine, I am very focused, and I reject quicker than I ever did before anything that sounds opposite of what I've already declared and the conversation I've already had with me and my God. Because if he doesn't want me to do it, guess what? It won't happen. So when you declare to be something, then that's when everybody around you in your life, in your inner circle, in your extra layer circle, because we got close relationships, and we got relationships, and then we got associates, and we got people that just be in your business for no reason. They start to become experts all of a sudden. All of a sudden, when you start making decisions that will improve you, it makes them uncomfortable. Then they have to put on their expertise hat, the imaginary one, like the one that the emperor with the new clothes wears, to advise you on your life. But never said a word the entire time that you were in your status quo, unhealthy, not happy mental state. Ain't never said a word. Not a word. And I have millions of examples of that. Examples that I never knew existed when I was in the thick of thin things. When I was in the thick of it, I never heard it. Once I brought myself out of it, I can hear it way more. And most of the time, I'm in my head. When someone's talking to me like that, I'm in my head rebuking them. Sometimes I say, nah, that's not me. Sometimes if I feel like, if I have the energy to even speak on it. Because if I say something and I think it's going to lead to a further conversation and I don't feel like it, like that would be worthy of my time, then I just look at them and in my head I start rebuking them. But I can give you like a few examples. For one, this one just trips me out. It's just amazing to me, and it always happens. It doesn't matter what I do, it always happens. So many of you know that I used to be 415 pounds, and I was heavy for a minute. I got heavy. Don't need to go into deep. I have a whole channel dedicated to my healthy journey. Go over there for the details. But I was 415 pounds, and I had up and down weight, spiraled a lot. Now, a lot of people know that I had a lot of health problems associated with me being overweight. A lot. And I would do things even if people knew that, like, for example, you knew I was diabetic, and you saw me eating every day my bucket of butter pecan ice cream. You knew I was diabetic. You knew that my kidneys were not functioning well. You saw me eat, drink, and do things that wasn't contributing to improving that at all. The minute, and I mean the very same day, when I said that I am going to go on. This is when I finally made the, I had a little talk with Jesus, told me all about my troubles, and then I made a commitment, and then I stuck to it. And I said, I'm going to eat raw, only raw, for 90 days. And I was going into that scared because I had never truly, for real, denied myself like that before. I couldn't even fathom. But that's the thing. That's how hard I needed to go in the paint. I needed to go hard. If I'm going to do this, then I got to do it and retrain myself on having a relationship, an appropriate relationship with food. I had to retrain myself on how to have an appropriate relationship with food. That means I had to relearn how, all over again, how to deal with my emotions and what I was using food to do and why. I had already assessed the situation. So I did my own assessment, my own comprehensive functional assessment on me, identified where my triggers were, identified what was going on, and identified a plan to put in place, just like I have done for the many years that I have done it in the fields in my industry. I did that one thing. I took one outcome that I wanted to get, and I created a plan. And I felt that I needed to unlearn how to relate to food and learn the purpose of food and when I need to fuel my body and not give myself any excuse, because I knew how to find an excuse. That I don't need no more training on how to find an excuse. I'm good at it. Trust. I needed to not be able to lean on any of the excuses that I have leaned on in the past. So it was a complete reset. That's what I call my 90-day raw reset. And I wrote it as a plan for myself. And I went, it was nothing, no big write-up plan. When I say I wrote the plan, I mean I wrote down I'm going to eat raw for 90 days. That was the plan. I knew nothing about a raw diet. I didn't study it. I just know that I can't continue to live like this and at this and at that age and be healthy and live a life or have any longevity to my life. If I was going to continue to live, I needed to do something. I needed to do something drastic. If we're going to go hard or go home. And home at that moment meant go with the Lord. And I said, I'm going hard. I'm going to go hard. And I said, okay, let me eat raw for 90 days. Let me try whatever I can do, whatever I have with me now. That's a decision. I didn't have to buy no meal prep thing. I didn't buy anything. I just went to the produce section, picked up the food, and that's it. And started from there and cried and sweated and angered myself through that process, teaching myself me. The very moment I told people that I'm gonna do this, everybody, all of a sudden, everybody became a registered nutritionist, general practitioner, medical doctor, a fitness expert. Like everybody came out the woodwork to tell me that. Well, you gotta eat this. You gotta eat that. You gotta have a balanced diet. Shut up. Shut up. That's what you gotta tell people. So shut up. You didn't say nothing to me. Nothing. Nathan. When I was big swole, lymphedema, barely could breathe, pitting lymphedema to the bone. If I crossed my legs, you would see it. You didn't say nothing to me. When I would go across the street or send one of my staff to go across the street and get me the butter pecan from the CVS. You didn't say not one word. And the minute I declared that I'm going to heal myself, you become a registered dietitian. You become a nutritionist. You become like all kind of expert on my life. But you ain't saying nothing when I was killing myself. Same thing. Next example. My husband and I built a big house. Huge. It was a dream. It was a dream. Nobody in my family lived like that. Nobody had nothing like that. It was great. We had a dream and a plan to have a big family. And if we were going to have a big family, we wanted them to have a safe environment. We didn't want them to have the same experiences we had growing up, where your mom is thinking that every gunshot she hears is the one that you got. That they would have a big yard. We had 3.5 acre, big yard, 6,000 square feet, like all of this space. It was a dream. We were able to do it. And we were grateful for that. When the decision came that this is way too much, because it's just me and my husband, we don't have kids. We've had kids through the house for periods of time, but we don't have kids. So when it became like, oh my God, this is a lot. Like we are slave to this house. We can't go nowhere. We can't do anything. Everything comes with a bill. We used to have this thing we all used to say, everything costs $1 million. It didn't matter. The grass was ridiculous. We had to pay somebody to do everything because we didn't have time. We didn't have time to stay and do. We tried. We literally, we did it for the Gipper. We tried. It was a lot. And we didn't grow up like that. You hear? We didn't grow up with all of that. So it wasn't something that we were used to or accustomed. But if we would have stuck it out if we had a full family, and we didn't. I was even telling him, I said, if we have these kids and the kids grow up, as soon as the kids grow up, we got to get the heck out of here. And because it was a lot. We arguing over who going to do this. Then there's John Deere broke. Got to take it to the John Deere. You don't even know what it takes to get a John Deere to the John Deere place. It's a lot. And then the pool. And then pool water. And got to order the pool water. And then the lining broke. And it was a lot. And I was like, this is way too much. It's taking way too much of my energy. And now that I'm on, because that came after I got my health together, I said, okay, next thing, the house got to go. We got to get out of here. It's too much money. It's too much time. It's too much energy. It's too much everything. I don't want to think about floors and walls and decks and additions. I do not want to think about that at all. I don't want to think about grass and if I got the lines in the grass and if the neighbor's thinking about my grass. I do not want to carry that with me anymore. And we both agreed, like, we don't want to do it. And, it's a lot. And we was like, we want to go back to condo living. That's best for us. And preferably close to the airport, because the only thing we trying to catch is flights. And so we were like, okay, bet. It really was like this. Boom, we out. And we told everybody, okay, we're selling the house. We're selling the house. We're getting out of here. We literally, like when we say we want it out, we want it out. We didn't want to take our time. We want to get out. I gave away all of our furniture, all our pans, pots. I go over people's house now, and I be like, wow, there's that couch. Wow, there's that table. I don't even think about it. Give it away. Come get it. the whole outdoor kitchen, the whole barbecue, I gave for free. Gave everybody whatever you want, come get it. And all my stuff came from Crate and Barrel and Pottery Barn and Restoration Hardware. So I gave it away for free because I just said, let me just give it. I'm not going to use it. What's the point? I didn't sell it to anybody. There's another point to that. I've always been like that. Always. So when I get to the point when I talk about when I ask for one thing from somebody and they act like they can't hear me, trust, I stop hearing you on this side. Trust. But gave away everything to anybody want, come get it. And then during that process, everybody, all of a sudden, became real estate agents, became estate planners, and financial advisors. But ain't saying jack when we said that we were overwhelmed with living this way. It was taking too much of our time. We had way more staycations than I wanted. And at first I convinced myself, yeah, staycation, that's nice. We got an outdoor kitchen. We got our own pool. We got plenty of space, plenty. I fed everybody every week. I never asked nobody for not $1. I fed everybody every week. All of a sudden, you getting rid of the, because they used to call it the ranch. You getting rid of the ranch? What we going to do for our vacations? Or why would you sell your house? You never get rid of an asset. Shut up. I'm not happy. Are you hearing me? Are you hearing me? I don't have to have this house in order for me to be successful, to be happy, to be whole. I don't have to have none of it. Nobody said nothing. Nobody offered to come and cut the grass. Nobody offered to come do nothing to take that burden away. The minute we say we release the burden, we're going to go live where we can be free. Free. Everybody became a financial planner and an expert on real estate. Ain't got not one real estate license. And all of a sudden wants to school me on if I was making a good decision. I made the decision. We made the decision. And guess what? I never, ever think about that house ever again. I never think about it unless somebody brings it up. If somebody said, remember how we used to have the barbecue at your house every weekend and eat crabs every weekend? Yep, because I used to get a bushel of crabs every weekend in the summer. Ain't asked nobody for not $1. All of a sudden, I said, I don't want it no more. I never think about it. Once I'm over something, I'm over it. It's done. It's past. I don't even think about it. It's almost like it didn't exist. That's how I train my mind so that I don't get stuck regretting woulda, shoulda, couldas. The only thing I wish I would have did it sooner. And that move alone has freed me up to be available for a lot. That's why I'm not committed. I'm not committed. The only thing I'm committed to is the plan. Whatever the plan is right now, I'm committed to the plan. I will never say, oh, I'm never going to move here. I'm never going to do this. What I won't be doing is I won't be doing that again. Not right now. I won't be doing that again. And if I ever had to do that again, it would be under different circumstances. So when everybody was like, oh, you know, how you gonna move? And we moved into the smallest. See, for everybody else, it's a small place. If you saw where we were in the house, then you said it's a small place. But for us, if you look back from where we come from, it's all right. We good, and we stayed there for 8 years till we moved to this current move, and it's bigger. It's like twice the size, but it still would be considered to most people who are of a certain mind small. But for us, it's perfect. Because we're not we're not trying to hold ourselves down so that we won't be available for what God is putting. I don't want to ever have to go, wow, God, you have given me such a great opportunity, but I can't leave this to do that. Because each one of the decisions that I have made so far has put me in positions and for great opportunities for me and mine. Each one. And each time that has happened, I'm more confirmed that I just need to trust the process. That's it. I need to trust the process. And there's many more times that I have where even when I said no, God made it so that it was going to be yes. He made it. I said no. No, I'm not doing that. He made the situation, he disturbed the entire situation that I thought that I had control over, so that my no became a yes. That's what I mean. God wants something that is you going to do it. You going to do it. Or, I don't want to know what the or is, but that's what it is. So I say all this to say, you cannot allow people to interfere with what you are planning to do, with your goals, your dreams, and whatever. You cannot let their decisions about your life change what you are working on with God. You cannot. It's a wrap. It's a wrap. So when that DM came through kind of giving me expert advice on business and all, let me just say, I am doing what God put on my heart to do. I don't have an if. I don't care. But what God put on my heart to do, I'm doing it. I'm unhinging people from those constructs that keep us at status quo. We as a people are carrying around tons of talent, tons of opportunity, tons of things to put in place, and we just need to do it. And I don't have no pause about that. I don't have no pause about it. I can't help you. I can't help you work that out. But over here on this side, over here in this community, we're not whining and crying and looking for excuses. And we're not listening to people talking nonsense. Let's get this paper. Stop playing games. Let's get it.